to get the most value out of it, so like I can just take a CAD file and throw it in the computer and it'll print it out and that's fine. Like a lot of times that's fine. But like if you like some experience based, like if you would really like to push it and really like to get to the best possible outcome, there is some experience involved with it, but hopefully not even so much experience as it is as these optimization softwares get better and better and better. You'll be able just to like put in some parameters and it'll spit it out. The cleaning details are probably more experience-based rather than optimization-based, because that's just like some poor guy had to sit there and clean this thing out like for 4 days, and he's just like that's an experience-based detail. Or a lot of optimization softwares, for instance, will hollow out a part. Like if I was to basically make really quickly a box here. Let me open Grasshopper again. And we're basically just going to fill this box with a lattice structure, because this is a solid block of powder, whatever. Maybe let's do a slightly more detailed block. Maybe that's not just a block, maybe it's a, let me delete it. What could I make? Let's say it's a welding fixture it's a support on a part for a welding fixture. And so maybe I've got a complex series of pipes that I need to weld together, so I'm going to print out the fixture to hold all of those pipes in the exact locations that I want them to be. And so let me, cylinder. I'm just going to punch a cylinder through here real quick. Boolean difference. So we've got that. Ta-da. Let me delete all of this stuff. So maybe I want to put a lattice structure on the inside. Like this weighs too much for me. Even this is so even just to optimize this shape for 3D printing, just right away in the design structure, like yeah, a lot of engineers would just stop here and be like, that would hold my pipe just fine. But that's a lot of material. I don't need that much material. Let me delete the bottom off of here. And type in offset surface, flip in 3 millimeters. So now I have exactly the same geometry on the outside, but this part weighs 98% less. I've used so much less material, but maybe it's not as strong, right? Like I've still got some issues here. Like it's definitely not as strong. The forces I'm applying to it might distort this part. And so when it's still let me go back. So when it's still this kind of shape, I'm going to just apply a real quick lattice structure to it with some, with again Grasshopper. I like Grasshopper, but there's lots of programs that do the same thing. Design space, topo. It's thinking for a second. This is a big part. So now I've got, if I hide this guy, ooh, that's a really dense lattice structure. Let me make it. That's a much more regular lattice in here. So this is now, this part has been hollowed. And I can even stick it into, let me make that 30 just for the sake of the processing, actually 50. So like now I've got a and even if I hide, I've got currently just a bunch of curves in the shape of a lattice that would be the internal structure to this part. Stick it in there, make that 5. So now I've got a lattice structure that could fill the inside of my original part. And of course, I didn't do it super perfectly, so it's not like 100% intersecting in it. But if I was to print this object out, so like I've got these two objects, stick them together. If I was to print them out like this, I would get a solid block of stuff with, it would print the part, and it would be, the support material would never be able to come out. So this is basically a wasted piece of, not engineering, but it was a waste of my time. If I explode this, delete the bottom off of it, join everything together, so now I've got a really light part. Now it's the same exact, I mean, I apologize for that intersecting, just for the sake of time and resolution. But now I've got a really light part here. The overall volume of this part is down an incredible amount. It probably saves me at least 50% on material costs just by doing a little detail like that. Or let's do let's do this in on a real part. So let's do this to, and I actually have one of our dental models. Parts, dental, the lower. So this is a dental model that would get spit out of 3Shape. This is literally 3Shape, like comes directly out of the 3Shape software. And so this is what a lot of dentists print, or a lot of dental labs print all the time. It's fine, like it totally gets the job done, but it's still, like to me, there's a lot of excess material in here. If we take a cross section of it, that's a lot of red. Like, I don't want any red on my part. The smaller, like the less red I can have, the better. In this case, it's red. It could be blue or some other color. But so, if I literally just one extra step, let me just delete the bottom off of that, and then go to Tools, Solid to Surface. Let's also do it, let's maybe make it 2 millimeters thick. And so this will very quickly, now I have basically a hollowed out part that I could make, and I've now saved myself more than half of the material cost of this part just by hollowing out that part, and it's still the same part. Like, it still looks exactly the same. And then maybe, like, and there's still another, like maybe you find out that I didn't hollow it enough, or I hollowed it too much. Now my part's slightly too weak, so when I like vacuum form a whatever down on top of this, like a sheet of plastic down on top of this, it distorts a little bit. I could either go back in and manually like draw in a support structure in here, or I could use a software like Grasshopper and like have it automatically put basically an infill structure on the inside, or I could just back up and make it slightly thicker. There's definitely a lot of stuff can be saved immediately just by like 3 worked better than 2. And so like take 30 seconds, but so much cheaper of a part just by doing that very quickly, like ta-da. And then now if I take a cross section of it, I mean, most of the part, that whole area in there was just wasted material. I didn't need that. And so like a detail like that could save you a large quantity of money and time and post-processing and all of that just on at the design stage.